I'm upset now. Like, I'm not upset, but I'm disappointed.
Well, hey, and welcome. This is Behind the Throne Season 8, final episode.
You feel nothing.
Yeah, the final episode of Game of Thrones. It's all over, folks. Show's in. That's a wrap. Give it up. Pack it on in. Let's head back to the wall. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right? Head back
Who
to
wants
the
to
goddamn
start?
wall.
You know, I just want to say, as the person who hasn't watched this is the only season I've watched. You know, I was going to buy the first 7 seasons, but now I'm not, because why bother?
Exactly.
I have the first 7 seasons, and I'm just disappointed in myself now. Thank you, Dan and Dave.
Thanks, D&D.
Appreciate that.
That was good shit.
Thanks, D&D. You managed to fill me with a great, deep sense of shame.
Yeah.
What are you,
the-
Christian?
Okay,
for
You
okay,
Catholics
okay.
or something?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Since that's how we always start for the past 3 episodes. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh, okay, all right. The very beginning, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, okay. Of course,
stupid music.
So,
And then a
Hey,
midget
I like
wandering
the
around
music.
in a broken castle.
the music is the best
He's like,
part.
I'm
No,
all
no, no,
sad.
no, no, no.
He was like that sad girl standing in snow meme. It was a midget.
Oh,
Hairy
that's true.
freaking midget in a field. I'm sad in the snow and my relatives are dead
Okay.
because I'm fucking stupid. You know what? What was that prophecy that Cersei was going to die with her brother's hands around her neck? Well, actually, it came true. If her brother hadn't showed up and tried to save her, they wouldn't have been down there in the tunnels to die. She would have been just standing there in that map room, which apparently survived.
So we are grabbing the tiki torches.
So
Good to
prophecy fulfilled.
Yes.
Thanks, Dan and Dave.
Yes.
You subverted my fucking expectations.
All
It's all
right.
about subverting those expectations.
Are the best thing.
All right. So where the fuck do we begin?
Hang on. Can I just ask one quick question? How do the 5 of you feel having wasted 7 years of your lives?
Well, see,
God,
Well, you
don't
see
even
now,
ask.
I didn't waste 7 years. I wasted like 3. So I feel even worse.
I've actually only seen it from season 5.
Hey,
Apparently I picked up where it was
Same.
getting really bad.
Well, I'm gonna
Right, I
waste
think it
more
was
years
bad.
because I'm waiting on the books.
Yeah.
Hey, it could be worse. One of us could have an arts degree. Okay, it's not that bad.
Oh
True.
Jesus.
Let's so like you said, we come in, Tyrion's walking around, so you're like, oh my god.
No. All right, no.
City's gone.
We're not doing the Preston Jacobs fucking.
Is it wrong to me that the only thing I could think of is why are you filling up so much time with sad dwarf and Ash?
Because it was sad. All right, the allegory. We're looking all artsy here. It looks like a World War I scene. You're walking through it. Okay, I get that. Fine, I'm cool with that. Now you get to John. This is where
Is
I
it my
want to
connection?
talk about. John gets up to them executing Lannister soldiers. Bam, toe to toe with Grey Worm.
Grey Worm needed to die.
Um,
I'm sorry. Grey Worm needed to die. And I know I've been saying, wow, I'm shocked he hasn't died since way before, even before Missandei died, because it was like, how the fuck did he not die in the battle up north? But you know what? He needed to die. I'm sorry. You can't just kill civilians and then kill soldiers when they surrender and their city's gone and they're on their knees. You're like, no, we're gonna kill them all.
I mean,
All right, hold on. Let's go through this in a little more detail. So yeah, we get mopey. Yeah, the city's burned down. No one fucking cares. So yeah, you get John coming up to Grey Worm and the Unsullied with a bunch of Lannister soldiers. Yeah, he's like, yeah, you can't do this. Like they've already surrendered. Yeah, they have. Grey Worm goes to fucking execute the one dude. John grabs Grey Worm's arm, and obviously all the Unsullied fucking put their spears. Like, okay, yeah, fuck you. Was it the Queen's orders? Who told you? Okay, let's go speak to the Queen. So as John's walking over, what the fuck does Grey Worm do? Slits the dude's throat. Fuck you, Grey Worm. You deserve to die.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no, and let's talk about that. All right, you have the former king of the North. As far as they're concerned,
Well,
the
yeah, but
future
that's
king,
the point
right?
of Game of Thrones. You're not supposed to like actually see consequences for your actions.
Well, let's point something out real quick because this has been a running theme. A foreign-born queen, quote, quote, Randall Tarley, with an army of savages at her back. These are Westerosi men. Whether they fought on the side of Cersei or not, these are Westerosi. They're not Unsullied. They're not Dothraki. They're Westerosi.
They're
They're
lords.
Jon's people.
They're lords. They're knights. They're squires. Yeah, these are actual.
None of them were going to follow her anyways. None of them.
Well, and that's
Not
the
after
thing.
what she did. Like, no matter what she did after that point, nobody in Westeros was going to follow her. They were all going to sabotage her at every possible turn. And although the fact of the matter is it that nothing unless you if you deal with this season you accept episode 3, you accept episode 4. Cersei's actions make sense in that context. But before that, she was the breaker of chains. She felt bad when she murdered people.
She only murdered like soldiers. And if she murdered civilians, it was like civilians that were attacking and trying to subvert her own rule. That was it.
Well, and I mean, the thing is, my problem is not that she went crazy. My problem was the fact that she immediately went crazy for no explanation. No explanation was offered as to why she went absolutely ballistic. It was just, oh, she goes ballistic. Okay, the Targaryens have this really nasty track record of being absolute crazy people. And I can understand that if you want to portray that over a period of time, she slowly loses her marbles. But it's just like, it was just so sudden and out of nowhere. Like, what happened to, like, character development and shit, man?
Well, and here's the thing. What this episode really hammers home is Daenerys is indeed a foreign invader. She might have been born on Dragonstone, but she's lived her entire life in Essos. She does not care about the people of Westeros, hence why she burned them. Grey Worm doesn't care about the people of Westeros, hence why he continues to murder them. Jon Snow is the only one that actually cares because he was born and has lived his entire life, even if he's been fighting against his own people, in Westeros. Daenerys is a foreign invader, and she does not give a damn about these people.
And we're
I'm
not
sorry,
quite
Ken.
there yet. And we're
Okay,
not
go
quite there yet. But okay, so yeah, you're right. Grey Worm. Okay, first off, when the man who might or might not marry the queen.
All right, now from a narrative point of view, what the problem is the motivation for Daenerys.
Second there, Aldridge, but I have to say, people are going nuts on Twitter right now. I'm serious.
Twitter.
What's being said?
Twitter
Well,
most
apparently,
important.
quite a lot of people are canceling HBO subscriptions.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to watch HBO now. I'm gonna cancel my HBO shit.
No, I want to talk about the narrative bullshit here of Daenerys' motivations. They gave us 3 motivations here, okay? And when you give 3 different motivations, but they don't sync up, you get what we saw. Now, they gave gods flip a coin, and sometimes they're sane and sometimes they're not, okay? There's the genetic disposition to going, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll buy that, but you got to lead up to it. You can't have somebody just snap. Doesn't work like that. Okay, but let's go with the second explanation. She saw her best friend killed and she flipped out. How many of her best friends, family, children, whatever, have been killed in front of her, and she never murdered a bunch of women and children before? But okay, we'll go with the lost control. Second reason. Third reason is it was for the greater good. Now, here's the problem. If you're going with the it was for the greater good excuse, you're about one murder away from paradise. You don't do that out of rage. If you're doing the greater good, you do that dispassionately. You sit there and you calculate. Oh, I have to kill 12 orphans in order to achieve paradise. Well, let's get out them knives and start frying up some orphans. but you do it cold, calculating. Her murdering everybody wasn't cold and calculating. And I'm not even sure if it was her snapping. It was just bad fucking writing. You don't give somebody 3 different contradictory motivations and say, all right, one of them's going to land. Fuck.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Done.
Well, this is what I wanted to talk about, though, before you went on that. So John says, hey, we're going to go.
Nobody else wants to rant because I've got a lot.
Can he not hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes,
I can hear
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, because it sounds like he can't hear me. But no, okay, so John is literally like, no, we're going to go talk to the queen. In other words, we're going to go have the queen stop this, right? Grey Worm doing that is blatant in your face, go fuck yourself. And that stems from the last episode, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
That look that Grey Worm gave him when he held off the Northern forces, right? And you notice when they all are lined up, Emperor status, there's no Northern forces there. There's no anybody from the Seven Kingdoms there at all. And I would like to point out, where the fuck did she get all these Dothraki and fucking... Is there a respawn point somewhere nearby?
Yeah, I noticed that too. There was an awful lot of Dothraki there. Boy, that was a lot.
There was also
Unsullied as well. It was like, geez.
There was a lot of Unsullied there. How the fuck did you get so many Unsullied? I thought they all died. Like, how many were left after the battle up north? There couldn't have been that many. There's no way you have that many fucking bat people Unsullied there.
Daenerys is the night. Daenerys is the Night King confirmed.
Well, and that's the other thing I wanted to point out is look at Daenerys's forces versus everybody else. None of them are from Westeros. None of them care about the Westerosi. They don't care about the women. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the men. They don't care about the fact that they surrendered. They don't give 2 shits.
Yeah, what's that phrase? What's that Grey Worm says? These men were free men. They chose to fight for Cersei. So that's the way they see it, right? They don't know that Cersei had ordered everybody in the surrounding villages to come into King's Landing. She was using them as a meat shield.
I think that's interesting though, because Daenerys she mentioned in the episode and in the episode leading up to it that
Hello. Did I drop off?
No. Daenerys mentioned in both this episode and not sure if it was the previous or the episode before that Cersei would use mercy against her, so she probably knew that.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's the thing. Like, let's talk about that scene, right? Okay, so you have Jon coming up through this mass. You have the Dothraki being Dothraki, and wigging out there in the courtyard thing, and then you have the Rose of Unsullied being Unsullied, and they let Jon by, which is interesting because Grey Worm somehow fast travels ahead of Jon. You would think they would have stopped Jon.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Where did Grey Worm come from? He was executing people in the streets, and all of a sudden, he's just there. Like, what the hell?
Time travel, fast travel.
Yeah, that was just Dan and Dave.
But no, fast travel. You know how fast travel. You can't fast travel when there are enemies near you.
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, Jon watches him slit the guy's throat and keeps walking. You would think straight to Daenerys, right? So how did Grey Worm get ahead of him?
Good damn question. But
Do we the tavern
real quick? Do we really need to talk about Tyrion going into the crypts to confirm that
No,
Jamie and Cersei are
No,
dead?
I
Because I
don't
don't think that's
care.
important.
I don't,
I don't
care.
really care.
The only comment I have on that scene is the thing when he's talking about his cousin squishing the beetles. That's what he was doing with the rocks. So
Yeah,
that's
kunk. So let's talk about this then, because I think this is really what we're getting at. When Cersei starts giving her speech in front of the Unsullied and the Dothraki about we're gonna go to the Jades. We're gonna go to the Jade Sea.
No, wait, Doku. Freudian slip, dude. That was Danny, not Cersei.
Oh shit, yeah, Freudian slip. My bad. But yeah, no, when Danny starts saying, oh, we're gonna go to the Jade Sea and we're gonna go to Dorne and we're gonna go to Winterfell and we're gonna just liberate everybody. What? Like, is this your idea of liberation?
Yeah, you're gonna go to Winterfell to Dorne. Really now? I think John has something to say about that.
Well, and that's the thing. She was already at Winterfell. You fought the army of the dead. You fought alongside the Northmen, and you're gonna go to Winterfell?
You just burned the city to the ground. What are you gonna do now? I'm going to Disney World.
She was going to. Obviously, she had some problems with Sansa.
But still, like, you have the North fighting alongside you, and you just burned King's Landing to the ground, and now you're saying you're gonna go to Winterfell to liberate them from tyrants? From who? John?
What
Sansa? Like, yeah.
Sansa.
Who?
It
What
sounded
do you-
like Oprah Winfrey. You know, you get a car and you get a car. Sorry.
Like that. I don't know if this
get
is
your
just
kingdom
crap
back.
writing.
You die.
I don't know if this is crap writing on
Yeah,
Dan and
right.
Dave's part, or if they're trying to show us that like Dany has quite literally lost her fucking mind. But you're gonna go liberate the North from who? John? Sansa?
Sansa.
Who? My guess would be Sansa, but as far as I can tell, the North is doing exactly what Grey Worm said about those Lannister soldiers and fighting alongside you of their own volition. So, who exactly are you liberating them from, or are you just on a power trip?
The Russians.
Well, no,
Russian bots.
and first off, thank you, Mox, for shilling us out on Twitter. MC says, liberate the North from the pain of existence. In other words, burn them all.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that made me scratch my head. Like, Daenerys, do you not realize the North is the only kingdom amongst the Seven Kingdoms that is actually helping you right now?
I think it was more hyperbolic kind of thing, where it's gonna be like it's gonna be freedom from like for everyone from Winterfell to Dorne to wherever. So you
like,
could see it like that.
Yeah, so like, you know, from sea to shining sea. Like,
I mean, I guess, but if I were to interject myself into the world and I could speak Valyrian, if I heard her say something like that after, she just torched all of King's Landing, men, women, and children, if I was a warrior fighting on the side of the North, that might be a little bit of a cause for concern.
All right. That was stupid writing. We got it. Let's move on to the truly stupid part here. What the fuck was up with that dragon?
Yeah, that was fucking retarded as shit.
I don't know. I always, by the way, just to finish off on the Daenerys Hitler speech, I always think it's. I always imagine like the Dothraki that's behind all the other ones going like, "What are you saying? We can't hear you," because they sure as shit couldn't hear what she was saying.
Oh, they're just going for bloodlust. They don't give a shit.
Well, no,
They're raiders.
I think what Eldritch was talking about is when John walks up, right? So he walks. Wait, actually, no. Before we get to that dragon, right? We need to talk about Tyrion here. So Tyrion says what everybody has on their mind. Is this what you call liberation? I freed my brother. You burnt a city. And he throws the pin down. Now, was she going to arrest him before that?
Probably.
Probably.
I love that when he
Yeah,
said,
no, I
like,
would.
yeah,
I would completely expect her to do so because she already said. Well, she already said if you fail me one more time, it's going to be the last time. So yeah, Tyrion knows he's screwed. So he's like, yeah, fuck you. I freed my brother. You burned an entire city. Men, women, and children.
I love that Daenerys, her face expression was basically saying, like, when he goes, yeah, I freed my people, you slaughtered the city. And her expression was basically saying, like, are you saying that what you did wasn't worse than what I did?
Yes, I am. I'm like, so wait, let me straight. Me free my brother to then die protecting my sister.
No, I have to disagree
It's
here.
worse.
Listen, yes, she killed a bunch of people and that's bad, but more people can have more people. You can never repair trust.
I don't give a shit. You killed millions of people.
They deserve
Well, to be honest, it's about a million. It's not millions. I mean, potato, potato. But hey,
The numbers. But
I don't
that's
know.
the point. You killed a million people. You killed women and children because of Cersei when they surrendered the fucking kingdom to you. No, that's not what I did. Doesn't even compare. Isn't even on level with what you did.
Well, no, and 40. What do you think about that? Tyrion giving her the ultimate "fuck you, burn me, then, bitch."
I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. To be honest, I kind of stopped caring about Tyrion's character this season because I mean, he went from someone who's quite intelligent and who had a lot of wit, and he was really funny, and a little bit of his wit returned this last episode, but it's just like, I don't know. He's not. They kind of butcher his character, I feel. He's a fucking idiot now.
Yeah, they ruined a lot of people's characters this season.
Yeah, but I mean, that was an okay moment, I guess, when he threw the little sigil of the hand down the stairs. I mean, I probably wouldn't have done it because, I mean, she's a fucking crazy person who just murdered a bunch of people. I don't know why the fuck you would do that.
What do you think about the optics of the boom, 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 boom? He throws it, boom, boom, and they just stop. I liked that. I thought it was good optics.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one.
All right, so what are we on to now? John going to meet Dany?
Yeah.
So John's walking up to meet Dany, and then there's like a big pile of snow, or ash, whatever you call it. And then Drogon like wakes up or whatever, lets him go through, and then they're talking. And no,
Well, don't skip to him talking. Don't skip to him talking because the dragon popping out of either the ash or the snow, whatever it is, was actually pretty cool. That's where a big amount of the budget went for this episode, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Probably.
That was pretty cool looking. Am I the only one? Eldritch, what do you think? Okay, well then we'll move on to Doku. What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, was it cool? Yeah, sure, it was cool. I don't think it added anything of significance.
Sorry, there's a delay in hearing you, Mad Dodge. Do I think that scene was cool? Yeah, I thought it was cool that there was a dragon under there. That was kind of interesting, visually speaking. But you know what? I'm just gonna get it over with right now. What? Okay, so he goes up to her, and I'm joking as we're watching, and I go, now he's gonna slip her the D, and by D I mean dagger, and then he actually stabbed her. And I'm like, what? That
Oh,
was the
also-
stupidest thing I could have thought of.
I want to build up to the stabbing
no,
though,
wait,
because
let me finish
because
this.
if
Let me
you
just
wait,
get
wait,
it all out.
stabbing though, Eldritch. Here's the thing, man.
Okay.
She starts talking to him like Anakin in episode 3, right? We could rule the world together. We could do this and do that. It's like she went fucking Sith Lord. What the fuck happened here?
No. Also, I want to take a moment to realize we were taking bets on at what point Danny would die. She died within the first 30 minutes of the episode.
Which means I win, by the way. Not that we bet anything real, but I win.
It was either 30 or the 45-minute mark.
I honestly thought it was okay.
Really, you like Mad Queen, like going full
Okay.
Anakin Skywalker,
No.
dude?
Okay,
Like,
so let me explain what I meant. I thought it was okay for her to die early in the episode because we all knew she was going to die anyway. So
Yeah,
Right, but
here's
I didn't think
the
she was
thing.
gonna die this early.
Here's the thing. With her being like the whole Mad Queen thing, I've seen it coming since season 1 or 2. I only wish they had gone for a 10-episode season so that they could flesh it out more during the season. But like her being stabbed so early in the episode didn't bother me. At this point, I basically hate her anyway. So
it didn't mean anything. There was no tension, no build. I mean, you're like, okay, this woman's dead. We're just asking how. But the part that I'm sitting there is that, okay, the dragon shows up. Great. You know what? This would be totally fitting if he burned John to a crisp right here, and in the process destroyed the throne. It'd be tragic, but it'd be like, hey, you know what? I can get behind this. But what do? They do the fucking Disney ending where the dragon just blows flame everywhere else but the throne. Then it goes, oh, wait, I'm nearsighted. I missed the throne. I'm going to burn that now. Ooh, look at the throne melting. Ooh. Then it picks up Danny and flies off for no fucking reason. Why the fuck did that happen? He just stabbed your mother in the heart. You can see the freaking dagger. He's standing there and he's, if the dragon then bowed his head to him and said, you're the new leader, I would have got that. I would have got that the dragon said, yep, you killed her, but you're the new head guy now because you killed the other one. She obviously was weak and you're in charge. But no, that's not what happened. What happened? The dragon picked her up to fly her off like he was taking her to the elven lands where they can live forever in peace and harmony and like heaven and shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? The only answer is that Bran warged into the dragon and he manipulated all of this with his time travel fucking powers. That's the only thing that makes any sense. All of this was Bran time traveling, manipulating events so people did stupid things at the wrong moment. He would jump in their bodies, make them go, "Oh, I'm going to burn the city," and it's the only thing. Evil Bran. That's my answer.
Since we're on this topic, I will point out because this scene is a brilliant example of why Dan and Dave are fucking retarded and are incapable of writing anything creative, even when they have source material to build off of, because they're shit when it comes to writers. So let's just take this fucking scene real quick. So, okay, Drogon burns the Iron Throne, Jon stabs Dany. Okay, there you go. That's what you have to work with. That's what you know is going to happen. So, let's see. What actually makes sense here? Maybe we can go back to the previous seasons. It was supposed to be from some of the leaks. There's many different ones. But Drogon is supposed to take Dany, specifically her body, to the lands of Oiswinter. Maybe she'll be the new Night's Queen, but we don't see any of that. So fuck me, I guess. So we don't get any resolution there. Later in the episode, Drogon is mentioned again, but we don't get any resolution with that, so who the fuck cares? And then maybe Drogon actually tries to fucking burn Jon Snow, but we already know he's a Targaryen. He's supposed to be unburnt. If fire can't kill the Night King, fire can't kill Dany. Maybe Drogon tries to burn Jon Snow, and Jon Snow just doesn't die. And then Drogon's like, "Okay, well, fuck you." And pisses off.
Can I?
No, and here's the thing, man. Okay, so like I could have seen them making a deal to get Bran on the throne, and then Bran advocating when Grey Worm and the Dothraki left the throne to Jon. Jon didn't need to go to the Night's Watch, which is officially, I don't know, useless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pointless. But no. My point is, if Drogon tried to burn Jon, like I would much rather see Jon actually just touch the Iron Throne, and then Drogon try to fucking burn him alive, and instead it just melts the Iron Throne, and Jon Snow's just standing there, and then Drogon pisses off. That would make more sense.
Can I just shoot something in? There seems to be one thing that people forget, and that is that the Targaryens aren't fireproof. And it has been shown in the show earlier that Jon can get burned.
Yeah, but still, we've never seen Jon in the way he reacts with Dragonfire.
No.
The Night King is impervious.
Yeah.
Dany apparently is. Why shouldn't Jon be?
Okay, so the thing about Dany is a little bit weird in the show, seeing as in the books she isn't really fireproof. It's more of a spell thing. The Night King is not a Targaryen, and the reason he is fireproof is that he can only die from a stab from a sword or dagger made from dragonfire in the same place that he was stabbed with the Children of the Night knife.
I would counter with logic went out the fucking window about 3 episodes ago. So Jon can stand there in the middle of the freaking dragonfire, and magical dragonfire activates his mutational X-Man powers, and he becomes like, I don't know, super mutant Jon shit. I don't care. Like, it would have been more interesting than why the fuck did the dragon not just eat him? Hi,
Yeah.
you killed my mom. Chomp. Ah!
Yeah, no, I get your anger. I get it. And the thing is also, when you're looking at it, okay, so how much time did they skip forward here? What are we talking about? Because the next scenes are a council meeting. It looks like months.
They said weeks. So who the fuck knows? They don't actually give us a specific time frame, but it's weeks.
Have you seen the beard growth? That looks like longer than weeks.
Well, that's what Tyrion specifically says. It's weeks. So weeks, I suppose. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 weeks.
Well,
who the fuck knows?
Okay, fine. Let's not dwell on that. Fine, gotcha. Let's dwell on, the people at this council. Is that Sweet Robin? Did I see the Lord of the Bay?
I think it is. I think it is.
Yes, you did.
And he wasn't sickly. He was a different actor, and he looked like, I don't know, he could put up a fight. What? Wait a minute.
You mean he actually grew up and somehow looks like a normal, not mentally deranged person? Huh. Thanks, Dan and Dave. But yeah, no, that whole scene at the Dragon Pit. So yeah, Tyrion's about to go on trial after being sitting in a frickin' cellar somewhere for weeks. And then we have Robin, what's his face from Dorne, we have Bronn, we have Sam, we have Sansa, we have Bran, we have Arya. We have pretty much anybody any major character. They're all sitting around in the Dragon Pit. And, of course, our favorite little frickin' invader, Grey Worm. And they want to execute Tyrion. And they're trying to figure out where do we go from here? So, Mad Dodge, take it away. What the fuck do you think about this scene? Aside from it being garbage.
Well, no, yeah, no, and here's the thing. Okay, so first off, Sweet Robin's not all sickly. That threw me off. That was weird. And then you have the Steward of the Vale. Well, if you have the Lord of the Vale, why do you have the Steward there? Okay, and doesn't there always have to be a Stark in Winterfell? Why is Sansa and Bran both at the meeting?
Because Dan and Dave don't give a shit about continuity. Let's be honest, they don't fucking care at this point in time. So yeah, we have all the major characters sitting at the fucking dragon pit trying to figure out who the hell's going to be the next king. And you know what? I will admit this. I like the fact that Tyrion is just like, fuck all of you guys, you're stupid. Why not have the time traveler dude just be the king?
Yeah.
Seems like the obvious choice, doesn't it?
Oh,
Well,
I mean, kind of.
No, I gotta interject. Because you skipped over the worst fucking part. Well, I don't know who that idiot was who stood up and he starts doing his little speech and then they interrupt him and tell him to shut down. But what did he fucking do? We had a little bit of comedy. He hits his sword in the pole when he's sitting down. Thunk. And he looks awkward and shit. Ah! What the
That,
I like
that
that.
was
comedy.
wasn't that sweet?
Oh, look.
Wasn't that Sweet Robin?
So fucking
No.
fucking random.
No,
Ah!
that was the
Ah!
Lord of River
Continue.
Run. That was
Oh,
Catelyn's brother. That was Catelyn's brother.
And that
Yeah,
would
okay,
technically
yeah,
be Sansa and Tarly's uncle, right?
uh,
Or
I don't even remember.
Sansa
At
and
this point.
Arya
Tons of
and
people.
Braun's uncle,
oh, fuck,
and
I,
John's uncle.
I thought he was
well,
related
no, I
to Tarly.
guess John's cousin, second cousin. I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah, I genuinely like that part.
Doesn't
So-
matter now, does it?
I mean, I don't know. I'm
I did think
impartial.
that part was rather amusing, just because everybody's like, well, no, it's
No,
funny
was he-
because everybody's
was
like,
he gonna
oh,
declare-
you're all stupid, and then it's like,
Well, no, was he going to declare himself king? That's what he was
Yeah.
going to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, I
Well, no,
mean,
the-
I'm
the
not.
best-
I'm kind of impartial to comedy in Game of Thrones because there are moments where Tyrion's character really shines in those aspects. You know, that's why I like Tyrion, is because he is a smart little shit. You know, he is funny sometimes. But I mean, so I'm not impartial to comedy or anything like that. I don't mind it. But I mean, I don't think that was an appropriate time for a joke at all.
well, and honestly, the best part of that entire scene is like, oh, well, you're the one that wanted the throne, and Tyrion's like, no, I don't. Basically, just gives everybody the proverbial. It's just
what
like,
do you-
yeah, fuck you guys.
What do you guys think of the whole Democratic Republic of Westeros idea of Sam?
I like how he was like, yeah, let's let people vote, and they were like, nigga, shut up.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Like, shut
Wasn't
the
that
fuck
kind of
up,
actually
Sam.
messed up though? I mean, Samwell had a point, right? That's really breaking the wheel.
Yeah, but it was interesting
That's what they
because
bring up
when
in that scene.
Tyrion
Go ahead.
mentions that the kings should from now on be elected by the meetings, it's like, well, Sam didn't get his wish, but it was as close as possible, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it went from, you know, complete absolute feudalism to like maybe a constitutional monarchy or something, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, again, that's all fine and dandy, unless you the time traveler who is past and future. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we
I
can
know.
have a democratic republic, but let's just elect the dude who can never be screwed because he can see everything.
Okay, see, you
Yeah,
know,
I gotta go on that. What was that line that he said? If we ask you to be our king, will you do it? And then he says, what do you think I came down here for? He knew that he set this all up. Every stupid fucking shit that happened, he set it all in motion. Everybody who died, died at the hands of Bran the Butcher. He killed them all in his power mad scheme. The Night King was the hero. The Night King tried to save us. He tried to save us from the tyranny of the Time Traveler. Fuck Bran.
Yeah,
Fuck
what do they call him?
sideways in the ass with a chainsaw. We are all his slaves now. Fucking A. What a horrifying.
Yeah, they called him Bran the Broken.
Yeah.
Bran the fucking Broken. Like, let's all bend the knee to a fucking time traveling overlord.
Time traveling cripple. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, like,
where we're going, we do need wheelchair access.
But you actually kind of step back and think, like, was the Night King really all that bad for wanting to kill the three-eyed raven, now known as Bran the Broken? Because
that's actually quite interesting, because when he said, "Why do you think I'm here?" that was the first place my mind went to, was like, that motherfucker, he actually wanted to be king.
Now I want to call him the three-wheeled raven.
Okay, I like that.
He's going to drive
All
around
right.
in a trike, man. What's going to happen is he's going to line up the Unsullied like a human ramp. He's going to drive right up the back of him to the dais where the throne's supposed to be. He's going to spin around his little wheelie chair. He's going to pop a wheelie, hold up a can of Code Red Mountain Dew. They're going to freeze frame for a second. He's going to go do the do. He's going to bring his chair down. Naked women are going to throw themselves into his lap, and then he's going to load up a doobie, and a big pair of black sunglasses is going to drop out of the sky onto his face, and the words "deal with it" are going to appear, and that's how the fucking show should have ended.
Well, see, it does kind of make you wonder now, though, doesn't it? Because Bran, since this final season has begun, what has Bran done? He's just been sitting around, not doing jack shit. And it's like, yeah, people are gonna die. I'm gonna end up sitting on the Iron Throne. Fuck you guys. I'm just gonna let Dany burn the Seven Kingdoms.
What the fuck is Bran
The
done?
Night King do whatever the fuck he wants. At the end of the day, I'm gonna sit on the Iron. Fuck all of you. Like, is Bran the ultimate big bad of the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I say
think he
so.
is.
I say so. And not only that, my additional proof is they were talking about where's Drogon, and he says, "Oh, don't worry about Drogon. I'll see if I can find him." Why the fuck did he say that?
I'll go dragon. I'll go find the one that managed to destroy an entire city, the largest city in Westeros besides frickin' Old, and managed to murder million people. I'll go find. Don't worry, guys. Nothing to see.
He already
here.
knew where it was. He already knew where Drago. He stored Draco or whatever the fuck his name is somewhere, and he warped into the dragon, flew him off somewhere, and he's keeping him in reserve in case he ever needs to level a nation in his mad quest for power. Fucking A.
Oh, that's the thing. This makes me wonder even more. This I didn't even think about this beforehand. This makes me more. Bran, was this all a gigantic setup from the beginning? Once he became the Three-Eyed Raven, to go all like weird, creepy mode. Like,
Yes.
I know what's gonna happen. I know Jon Snow's heritage. Go, hey Sam, go tell Jon Snow that he's actually the heir, the true heir to the Iron Throne. Dany's gonna go nuts. She's gonna burn down King's Landing. They're gonna kill each other. Jon's gonna fuck off to who knows where, and I'm gonna sit on the throne. Like, Bran, did you set the beginning? Ever since you got those,
Let's think about this for 1 second.
This would actually be a good. Oh, real quick, this would be a good plot arc if Dan and Dave actually took time to show us that Bran was actually the villain, but they didn't take the time to fucking do it because Dan and Dave sucked.
No. I mean, yeah, there's nothing in there to indicate this is any of it's true. But if you think about it, he would have known the consequences of telling everybody about Jon's true lineage. He knows that if he just kept his fucking mouth shut, probably none of this would have happened. She wouldn't have felt betrayed. She wouldn't have gone crazy. She wouldn't have burned an entire city. She probably would have been a hell of a lot more reasonable. And John would have fucked her, so she would have gotten laid and wouldn't felt the need to burn a city to the ground.
Yeah, I think all things considered, if Dan and Dave were clever and gave us even just a small hint, I would argue that Bran is definitely the villain of the story.
Well, no, and okay. So the next question about this meeting is okay. Now, Bran is king. Why does Sansa feel the need to leave the Seven Kingdoms?
Well, that's because the North won't be bending the knee to
Bend the
any.
knee to who? Wait a minute. Bend the knee to who? The Stark King? The Stark
No.
King? The first Stark
A king.
King ever.
A king that doesn't have his throne in the North.
I don't buy that because this is based off of the War of the Roses. If you look at it, you see the Lancastrians actually ended up winning that war over the York, the family, which happened to be what the North is based off of. So if you look at the North, if they would have won the crown, then they wouldn't have been fighting anymore. They would have won. So you have a Stark king. He could easily pass that down to one of Sansa's children. Why are you leaving the Seven Kingdoms?
Wait, do you think Dan and Dave actually paid enough attention to study the history of the War of the Roses? Oh, by the way, Suit Yourself, what's up, dude?
I have
Suits in
the
the chat.
answer to your fucking question. Okay, here's the answer to your fucking question. Bran knew she wasn't going to bend the knee to him, and he allowed it to happen because he knew in the future, like 5-10 years from now, he's going to need the North to be separated from his kingdom. So for some Machiavellian reason where he's going to need to kill thousands of people, and it's going to be a lot easier to do it if he's got, that sacrificial nation to the North that he can just go, well, they're not my people. Yeah, they're all dying and starving, but they're the ones who didn't want to bow to me. It's so tragic. So tragic. It's fucking evil.
I would buy a lot of these explanations if Dan and Dave actually took the time to explain it. And this is the big problem with season 8. They didn't take the time to explain jack shit. Hey,
I think
No, it's Suit Yourself in the chat. You're all bigots. Crybabies who hate season 8. Faggots die. Season 8 is the best. Damn, dude.
okay, so I think the most offensive part about this entire season is the fact that Dan and Dave were offered money for more episodes by HBO, and they said no, thank you.
well, it's because they're going to Disney to destroy Star Wars.
Yeah.
Sorry.
have fun with
Right,
that.
already. Don't even start with that.
Oh, wait. Oh, God, it just fucking clicked. Dear God, that's why he worked into the dragon and went off with Daenerys' body. He's the only one who knows how to make more White Walkers now because he's the only one who could travel through time to see how the process happened. So he's taking her corpse off somewhere to make another Targaryen White Walker queen bitch.
See,
That's
damn it,
why
that's
that's
the
all
fucking.
part of his evil plan.
That's
Well,
what.
no, it's
That's
great.
what I
It's
fucking
great,
said.
though. No, Dan and Dave practiced their Star Wars credentials with that scene with Danny, right?
The sad part
You had
is
the
what we're coming up with
stormtroopers
is
all
10 times
lined
more
up
interesting
and
than the
shit.
shit we saw because I watched this entire episode and I felt nothing. I didn't even feel hungry. I felt nothing but emptiness inside.
Well,
This
no,
was I didn't even give a fuck. He finally petted the goddamn wolf.
Well, no, Eldritch. This is the thing. In one of the leaks, it was supposedly that Drogon is supposed to take Dany's body and fly to the lands of Always Winter. You remember that frickin' altar where we saw the Night King for the first time, where he turns Craster's kid into a White Walker? That's apparently where Drogon is supposed to go according to one of the leaks.
Okay, but the leaks are obviously not canon at this point, though.
I mean, at this point, but again, they filmed a lot of other shit. But if you think about it, and again, I'm not gonna say Dan and Dave are exactly creative, but if you want the story to come full circle, because let's look at this final episode, everything does come full circle. If you really want to fucking tie that knot, Dany goes north with her almost dead body, and there's still that one kid that was turned by the Night King. Who's to say that the Night Queen, Daenerys, doesn't rise up as a new White Walker? Because another scene that we were supposed to see that we didn't is when Jon goes north, right at the end of the episode, you're supposed to see a new spiral pattern made from freshly cut up bodies.
You know why? No. I'm going to tell you why we didn't see any of that shit. It probably was in the script. It probably at the time it was leaked was going to happen. But then they pulled the shit. They went with some test audiences. The test audience goes, "Oh, that ending was a little creepy. Oh, do you think turning Daenerys into the Ice Queen was feminist enough or some shit?" And then they went, "You're right. That's a bad ending. Let's go with Disney happy fucking kittens and sunshine. Dead, desiccated kittens shriveling under an unforgiving sun like the show's soul."
Well, and that's the other thing. I thought this was supposed to be a bittersweet ending. As far as I'm concerned, it was a pretty dull.
Why the fuck
it wasn't
is
dark.
Anya
It
going
wasn't
off to
happy.
find the-
It was just meh.
Yeah, where is she going? Why is she going to find the Aztecs? What the fuck? What the fuck? She never... What? Why is she going to find the Aztecs? Why? What's west of Westeros? What the fuck?
They set that up earlier.
But yeah, so where were we? We got off track. So yeah, they elect Bran, our time traveling overlord. So what happens next? Jon Snow is now released. He has to take the black. He's going to the north. For what reason? I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, and it seems like the reason is to settle the north. Is what it looks like to me.
Well, they don't even say that. It's just, hey, take the black. So it's not like Drogon's around or Dany's around to frickin' burn you. Grey Worm's about to piss off to that island that Missandei came from, like the Unsullied and the Lothraki are all going to leave Westeros after they destroyed the frickin' continent. Now we have I'm not gonna lie, I did like the scene where Tyrion's trying to set up the small council. That was kind of amusing, but none of the shit that happens up until that point is important.
I do want to talk about who was on the small council. I find that amusing. But first, suit yourself. He keeps going. You got it all wrong. Season 8 is the way it was meant to be. The rest of the seasons beforehand were wrong. Listen to the salt. My God, what SJWs.
God damn it, Suit.
No, he's having fun in the chat. And welcome to the show. But no, when it comes to Jon headed up north, I do think there is nothing for them to do up there other than settle. So it's almost like his get out of jail free card, right? Here you go, head up north. What's going to happen? You do desert and you head to Winterfell. You think Sansa's going to behead you? Good luck with that one. You head up north and you settle. You can be married and you can do whatever you want. Like this whole oath of fathering no children. Yeah, fuck that noise, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
So the guy I live with came up with a sort of idea that, like, two ideas of the whole taking the black thing that would have made a little bit sense. For example, if the Watchers became sort of the like state-funded Brotherhood without banners of the North, kind of thing, that one would have made a little bit sense. Or if they just threw in Tormund saying like
I
some,
got a question. I got a question.
Sure.
Why did they have that little tunnel with the gate anymore? Because last I checked, the wall was burned to the ground with magical dragon fire, so you could just walk out of the north.
I guess
they're-
they're.
about that.
I guess
Not
they're.
through that gate. That gate, the wall was knocked down by Eastwatch by the sea. That's
Yeah.
where the wall was knocked down by the coast.
So the other thing he said that would have at least made some sense if let's say Tormund had given like just one line of being like, oh, there's still danger beyond the north, something alluding to that would have helped.
Well, and that's what's irritating is if John is going to the north and he's going to go be the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, can you give us something? The White Walker's gone. Is Dany now resurrected as the Night Queen? Is what the fuck's going on with Drogon? Is there another wildling army? Like something.
Well,
otherwise, it's completely fucking pointless.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of loose ends, but what it looks like with John's last scene is they're headed up to colonize. I get that. Okay. Now we get to Arya going west of Westeros. Called it, bitch. I won that bet. All right, so there she is on her ship headed west to Westeros. I like that ending. What do you think?
I like
Yeah,
it.
I liked it.
They have.
I don't
They
mind it.
have. Yeah, that part was set up from previous seasons, so I like it.
And I like the
Alright.
fact that she had the Stark wolf on the prow of the ship. Like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Arya is basically turned into Euron at this point in time.
Yeah, but the Winterfell version, I like that. And I would like to see a spin-off with Arya. I doubt we'll get it, but I would like to see it. Now, all right. So, to the small council again. Bronn? Why is Bronn there? Can anybody explain to me why the fuck Bronn is there? And master of coin, of all things. He knows how to spend coin on hookers, obviously. His first task is to rebuild the brothels. So there's that.
I can pitch to you the only reason why he should be on the council. He became lord of which castle?
Not Winterfell, the other one. Right?
It's Highgarden.
Fuck, what's his name?
Highgarden.
Highgarden.
Yeah. So as Lord of Highgarden, he would technically be one of the more powerful lords in the Seven Kingdom or Sixth Kingdom at this point. That's the only explanation I could see.
Who would you place as Master of Whispers? Because they don't have one. And they don't have a Master of War. How about you recall Jon from the Black and make him your Master of War?
Hey,
Or
Because
just-
that would be
logic
too
around
easy.
here.
Or just
We
have
have
him be the
logic around it. What are you
Commander
doing?
and the Master of War at the same time.
Jon
The part
would be
that
no
boggles
good
me
as
about all that
Master of
is that
Whispers.
Bran can see through fucking time. Doesn't he already know who he's going to fucking pick to be these people? Like, we'll have no need to tell me who the hell you're going to offer up on a short list because I can see through time. I already know who's the best one for the job, you fools. By the way, wait at least 15 minutes before you leave. I don't want you to accidentally get killed.
Oh, also, why would Bran need a Master of Whispers?
Yeah, that's the other fucking question I think about now. Like, he can fucking see through time. Is anybody conspiring against you, Bran? Yes, but I already arranged for them to die by being run over by a fucking horse and cart.
Again, you're assuming Dan and Dave are actually creative.
Well, no, and suit yourself. What men do this? How much soy is in this group? No, man, we just like me. I'm a book fan, and we've all watched the show, dude. Like, yeah, we're nerding out, but it happens. All right.
Yeah. Um.
But okay. So overall rating of the episode, 40 ounce. You still with us? Take that as a no. Doku, what's your rating?
You know what? I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's actually no. You know what? Scrub that. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because as garbage as this season has been, it's not the worst ending I could have expected because there were some moments where it's like, okay, well, at least give the hardcore fans that have stuck with us for this long a little bit of a tip of the hat. So I appreciate that much. I'll stick by 6 out of 10.
All right, 6.
I'll agree with that too. I'll go with 6 out of 10 because the visuals are great. You know, the music was wonderful. What happened was predictable as fuck, but honestly, I felt nothing.
Yeah, like I didn't feel like
I-
the way the leak showed it. I thought it was gonna be awful. Like I expected, like we were all gonna like lose our mind. It was just like It was an type of like you were like, yeah, I guess.
Oh, and that's
You know what I mean?
honestly the thing this episode managed to do, and I will give them credit for this. It does kind of tie everything back together full circle. Love it or hate it, it does bring everything back essentially to square one. So it's like, yeah, they pulled that off at least. So, all right, it could be worse.
All right, so Rat, what's your rating?
All right. I'm ready to piss off the rest of you. I'm gonna give it a 7. I honestly had read the leaks before, and I was so ready to hate on this episode. I found way more enjoyment in this, and than I thought I would. I thought the episode was, for what the season had been, it was well executed. Especially seeing as since I'd read the leaks, I was very afraid of how they were going to handle the election of Brown and all that stuff. But I thought it worked. And as weak this season has been, I am honestly ready to overlook some of the faults of this episode. I thought it was, with the last season, more or less one of the better endings that we could have gotten.
I tend to agree as far as endings go. Not bad. Not good, but not bad.
Could have been worse, which is sad.
Could have been way worse.
Well, no, and 40, are you back yet? No. All right. Well, I'm going to assume he passed out until further notice. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward here. I will give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6, and I'm going to say that the council meeting at the end was good. The stabbing by John was reminiscent because you could hear the slide of the sheath and the dagger, and it was almost like the Arya move from A Long Night, which was kind of good, and it seemed like poetic justice, almost Shakespearean in a way. I like that. Did it make sense? No, it didn't, and I don't like that. So that's why it's still buried at a 6. John's ending, he should have been king. Bran, that's out of nowhere. Sansa ruling the North, I don't necessarily like that either. I think she's going to be a type character. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sansa ruling the North.
The whole Six Kingdoms thing.
I liked Sansa getting the North. but that's just me, I guess.
See, I don't mind the Six Kingdoms as opposed to the Seven Kingdoms thing and Sansa ruling north, but the issue I do take with it, why? What's the point? Who cares?
It's all part of Bran's master plan. He's going to need that separate kingdom in the future so he can sacrifice millions for his power. By the way, weird thought. What if Bran traveled back in time and he was the one who brought Jon back to life just so he could have Jon slip Daenerys the D? In this case, the D being a dagger.
Yeah, that's the big issue with this entire season. Like, Jon Snow, you know nothing. All you had to do was bang Daenerys. That's all you had to do, and you fucked
Just
it up.
once.
Well, he had a problem
literally-
banging his aunt, and that was Bran's fault. If Bran hadn't told him, Jon would have been like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bang this hot platinum-haired chick. Yeah, she's got dragons and shit. This is awesome."
Well, no, and
Well,
that's
when he figured out it was his aunt, he was like, "Oh shit."
Well, that's kind of the thing too, right? Like, so okay, you're sitting there and she's telling you, "Hey, be my king, rule with me, balance me out," is what she was saying as she's going through this crazy rant, which is what it is. But you can see her line of thought here. All you had to do was play the long game, and he sits the throne, right?
Yeah, when you realize that literally the one clutch moment of this entire frickin' season, or this entire series, all hinges on whether Jon Snow actually has sex with Daenerys Targaryen. That's
Had
the
he stuck his
reason.
dick in her, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, that's the reason millions of people had to die, is because Jon didn't want to have sex with Daenerys.
And that was the
I don't
lesson
know.
of the entire show. If a crazy-haired platinum blonde bitch wants you to bang her, do it, or millions will die.
I don't think Sir Jorah is the big bad of the entire show. If he hadn't stopped that wine assassin, I don't know what would have happened.
Oh, right.
The moment he stuck his finger up Cersei's bum, he was dead.
Well, no, and, oh,
That's
God.
called
Oh,
foreshadowing.
So Suit Yourself is on a roll here. Good. Poetic. I loved it.
Also,
Mad
wait,
Dog
wait,
2019.
also,
Um,
how is King's Landing rebuilt in 5 days?
It was at least 2 weeks.
So it took 2 weeks to rebuild all of the fire damage that fucking
It's
woman
the
caused?
dramatic combat system. Okay, we got away
it-
from tactical combat long ago.
It's a fantasy show. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, Brand the Broken, Brand the Builder. What's the difference? Okay, so
Brain's like, well, I know how to do my job.
can we build it? Yes, we can. Suit Yourself also says John could have stayed in the tundra fucking the redhead and nothing would have changed. MC says,
Literally nothing would have changed.
don't stick your
What the
sticky
hell?
crazy.
Jon Snow knows nothing, though.
Yeah, definitely how to stay away from crazy. Did you see his fucking exes?
Yeah, if this episode showed us anything, is that Jon Snow does indeed know nothing.
Yeah, what lessons have we learned?
If you have a crazy girlfriend and she wants the D, just give her the D. That otherwise
even if
millions
it's your
of people
aunt,
die.
don't you? Even if it's your aunt.
Especially if it's you.
It's either that or millions of people die and cities burn to the ground.
You have to. So I have a question. Who do you think is better between Danny or the redhead chick that John fucked?
Oh, Ygritte?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
what? Wait, so John should have just took one for the team, is what you guys are saying?
Yes. Take one for the
Millions of
Yeah,
literal
considering how many people died, yeah, he should have.
hundreds of thousands of people would have survived if he had just agreed to a little bit of incest.
It's
I
either
hate
that or
HBO right now because we're discussing incest. God damn it.
But yeah, no, he should.
Yeah.
He should have taken one for the team.
the show.
All
I
right.
swear to God.
So there is no prediction section. The show is over. Done. Finite. Over with.
Okay.
Oh,
Question.
I have a.
I actually have a question.
Oh,
So on
Yeah,
the
go on.
scale, so would you put where would you put this ending, the series ending show, of all the bad series endings? Where would you rank this?
Not lost level. Not lost level. I would put it halfway between Lost, which is total shit, and MASH, which was gold. So
Really?
about a 5. Yeah.
Really? I'll put this like one notch above How I Met Your Mother.
Oh God.
I honestly,
Yeah.
seeing as I was like okay satisfied with the ending, I would say the ending they stuck the landing way better than I thought that they would. So way better than How I Met Your Mother.
God, Bran really is the most evil person in the entire like Seven Kingdoms, isn't he?
But I have a question. I have a bet for you, Mad Dodge.
I'm sorry.
Do you
Go
think-
ahead. What?
Yeah, so bet for Mad Dodge, do you think that George R. R. Martin will live long enough to see the books get finished?
Yes.
He'll live long enough to see himself become the villain.
No.
Because here's the thing about George R. R. Martin.
Well, no.
You just-
Me and Doku came to the conclusion today in Discord that George is done with Wins and he's working on a Dream for Spring already. He was waiting for HBO to wrap it up. He already cut ties with this series about 4 years ago. So
If
I'm with
he's-
Doku on that. I think he's done with Wins.
If he's not done with Winds of Winter, I will be shocked because he's had preview chapters back when like season 5 or 4 came out, and he was already putting out completed and edited chapters. No,
Okay, so here's
Winds of
my
Winter is done. Winds of Winter is
Here's
done. A Dream of Spring is probably close to being done.
here's my take though. George R. R. Martin is not historically well known for being a guy that knows how to end things, and he is not the most healthy dude you find in a gym.
Well, in case you didn't know, he's actually already talked to a few of his editors and people that help him write the books, because it's not just him. They know
Yeah.
how the books are actually supposed to end.
Yeah,
Not a Dan and Dave thing. So even if George R. R. Martin, goes kaput, the books are probably for the most part done. So
The outlines for the books are like there. They just got to fill in get the in betweens done.
One of the actors on the show had come out and said that he was finished with the books, and he apparently wasn't pleased with that, and he had to come out and be like, "No, I'm not finished."
he's probably contractually obligated to say so.
Well, real quick, Suit Yourself was asking, do
Wanna
I
know what?
accept the
Oh,
bet?
sorry.
Yes, I do accept the bet. I think George will live to finish the book.
All right, you're on.
Oh,
But I think Winds of Winter is done. A Dream of Spring, I don't know. But Winds of Winter, yeah, definitely.
So okay, what spin-off do you think we're gonna get first?
Hopefully
Don't
it's
care.
just not as bad.
don't care. Do
Well-
not care. You could have 100 dancing naked women starting off on the first episode of whatever this spinoff is. I will not watch it. I will not care. I will not spend
What?
one moment of my life thinking about Game of Thrones after this.
I will.
Alright.
I'm
So-
addicted. I need the hit, bro.
Yeah. So the first prequel will get this long night.
You know what? I
White
actually wouldn't. I wouldn't
Walker.
mind that.
I
because-
don't know. I don't like that. You know what I want? I want the Arya series. I want Arya on her own west of Westeros. That's what I want.
No,
I personally-
screw that. Screw that. Hold on, real quick. Screw that. I want the first long night, as it was based on in the World of Ice and Fire. It was supposed to be based in Essos, and it's supposed to last an entire fucking generation, not one fucking episode. I want to see the fucking White Walkers in all their fucking terrifying ice zombie glory. Not one frickin' episode where it gets killed by a spider monkey.
Well, that seems to be what you're getting. If I were to get like a dream, a wish for a prequel, I would go for Robert's Rebellion.
Yeah, Robert's Rebellion. would be
Robert's
nice.
Rebellion wouldn't be bad.
The only problem with Robert's Rebellion is we know
Actually-
how it plays out. That's the problem. So you would have to get some really good actors to make it interesting. Because
Yeah,
we
we
know
won't
how
get Robert. We won't get it because they've already said that they are not going to go for that one because we know too much about it from this show. But I want that.
Actually, you know what would be
between Rhaegar and in all his glory.
well, no. What would be really fun is if we get a series where it's just Euron traveling around the
Oh,
the
that
world
would've
of
um,
yeah. Just let's see what Euron's been up to ever since he got exiled. Like, let's see what this asshole's actually seen.
we could get to finally see his Valyrian steel armor.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's supposed to have a suit of Valyrian steel armor. He's supposed to have like warlocks on his frickin' boat, the Silence. He's supposed to have a red priest and priestess.
Yeah, and the dragon controlling.
So I
form.
want to see what he's been up to.
Yeah, no, that
And he's
would
also
be
supposed to have dragon eggs too.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Any other ideas for spin-offs before we go into the final section here where we talk about what we're going to do going forward with this series? Because this series isn't going to end. There's a lot of book material, and Dan and Dave can't ruin all our fucking fun. So we will continue to talk about Game of Thrones.
I just want to point out real quick that when they brought Euron onto the show, they said that he was going to make Ramsay look like a child. They never managed to pull that off. It would be cool to have him have his own show.
Yeah, no, just Euron running around and being a pirate. That'd be fun.
They could show Victarion as well. That would have been cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And moving forward, Doku. So me and you were talking. We're pretty much gonna go on with some book predictions. Maybe a few theory crafting for the spin-off, The Long Night. You do own the World of Westeros, right? So, or World of Ice and Fire is what it's called.
Yep, I got that book. It's far more entertaining than the series has been.
So we will go more in depth on that, and I'm hoping at least once a week we're gonna keep this up. I think. Going forward, Rat, do you want them to do a Dunk and Egg after that graphic novel series is finished?
Wait, which one?
Dunk and Egg, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. It is a graphic novel by George R. R. Martin and is in the same world of Westeros. About what? 50 years before A Song of Ice and Fire?
Yeah, it was Aegon, another Aegon Targaryen, or Aegar, and then Sir Duncan the Tall, which is
yeah,
Yeah, that was one of the ancestors to Brienne of Tarth, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
All right. So, any last thoughts before we wrap this up? Because, to be honest, my dinner's done. So I'm gonna make a taco. I'm willing to hang out and talk off air, but I'm not gonna eat and talk on air. That's not very professional. So, any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
I'll let
I
you guys
thought-
go first.
All right. I thought this season was flawed, definitely. I only had one episode this season which I hated, and that was the last one. I gave it I think I gave it a 5 out of 10, and the more I thought about it after having seen it, I thought it was like I thought it just got worse and worse in my head the more I thought about it. The absolute last episode, I thought it was as redeeming as it could have been.
Fair enough. Jay Boogie, what are your thoughts, man? We're wrapping it up.
Man, they could have ended the show so much better, but maybe hopefully that petition that they made gets more than a million, gets a million plus, because
Oh, it is at 1 million plus already.
so I mean,
It's
So
currently at 1,118,000.
Yeah, gotcha. So you're looking for a mulligan. I gotcha. Doku, final thoughts.
Well, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but looking at everything from last season and this season, it could have been a lot. It could have been a lot better. There's a lot of stuff they could have done that would not have everybody freaking the hell out. But as far as a final episode, just as a single review goes, it's about what I expected. It's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah. I mean, a 6 is pretty much what I gave it. 5.5, 6. I mean, you guys gave it a 7 or a 5. Yeah, it's right about in there. It's not Lost level, man. It's not. So they did.
I mean, okay, it's on How I Met Your Mother level though.
No.
With this ending, at least it somewhat makes sense. There's a few things that they left out, or more specifically, they just chose to ignore. But more
here's the
specifically, they chose to ignore it. But as far as ending the series, with what they've already done, this is about what I expected. And all right, I'm going to say it, and I hate to say it. I was actually surprised. It was better than I expected.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And looking at the chat, our buddy Ace in the chat says, I got a thought. When the blank is their professionalism on Mad Dodge Productions streams? Well, I said blank for a reason. We are now monetized, sir. We are now.
We were talking about incest. You are not monetized.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones. It's all right. All right, guys. I think that's about it. This is my second stream tonight. I am willing to talk in Discord or in a hangout after air here. So if you're in the Discord, the hangout link's out there. I'm gonna get off here, go make a fucking taco. I'm hungry. All right. Good night, good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.